we've always been known as a side that's very unpredictable. But when you have an unpredictable tag for a long time, that is wrong. What we see today is probably the lowest I've seen. Yes, we've lost close games, we've lost World Cups, we've lost opportunities where we thought that on paper we're the strongest side. When you talk about I think you talk about the recent loss and you talk about the longest format of the game. The results are a result of many aspects. I don't know where you want to start from, whether it is about Pakistan not having enough test cricket at home or away, just 8-9 matches in 3 years. Whether you're talking about we don't have test cricket home and away, then players automatically are more involved in white ball cricket. I see a lot of people putting in their inputs and none of them know what to do. To start with the pitch, it's looking green. We're taking 4 fast bowlers, 4 pace bowlers, as if it's already decided that you'll win the toss. When you lose the toss, then what do? I think it's all to do with fitness, from Abdul Qadir to Mushtaq Ahmed to Saqlain Mushtaq to Saeed Ajmal to Abdul Rahman to Babar, or Yasir. And then what do you have? You don't have a specialist spinner who can be included in the side, and you have your 3 pacers, 1 part-time spinner. You say you can run through an opposition and bowl them out twice. We haven't bowled an opposition at home twice since 2022.
Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Saj Sadiq here for PakPassion website. I hope you're all doing well out there. My guest today is, I would say, somebody a little bit different rather than our normal cricketers or ex-cricketers that we interview. He's somebody who is a big name now in the world of cricket commentary. He's not a cricketer himself, which I think is a fantastic achievement to become a international cricket commentator when you've not played, cricket yourself. Fantastic voice, fantastic knowledge of the game, domestic cricket, international cricket, the one and only Sikandar Bakht. Sikandar bhai, assalamu alaikum. Thanks very much for joining me.
Wa alaikum salam, and thank you for having me.
Sikandar bhai, it's not a great time to be a follower of Pakistan cricket. Where's it going wrong? I know it's a big question, it's the million-dollar question, but where are things going wrong at the moment?
Well, to begin with, I have played some cricket, but not at the highest level. I've played in Pakistan and in England. What the question you asked me, everyone's asking that question. And I guess it is not something that has happened overnight. It is basically an amalgamation of various things that have happened in the past, say, 4 or 5 years. And the effects of that are now showing, and sadly showing consistently in terms of results, in terms of fitnesses, in terms of individual performances, in terms of everything. See, Pakistan team has always been a team which has shown flashes of brilliance, either by individuals or collectively as a team against a stronger opponent. And we've always been known as a side that's very unpredictable. But when you have an unpredictable tag for a long time, that is wrong, which means that you're not consistently performing. You're just unpredictable. I mean, it sounds good when a commentator says that, well, you can't take them easy, don't know which Pakistan has turned up today, and stuff like that. What we see today is probably the lowest I've seen. Yes, we've lost close games, we've lost World Cups, we've lost opportunities where we thought that on paper we're the strongest side. When you talk about I think you talk about the recent loss and you talk about the longest format of the game. The results are a result of many aspects. I don't know where you want to start from, whether it is about Pakistan not having enough test cricket at home or away, just 8-9 matches in 3 years. Whether you're talking about we don't have test cricket home and away, then players automatically are more involved in white ball cricket. And since you don't have your heroes playing much test cricket, then all the youngsters are also looking at white ball cricket. And then lots of changes on the board. Everyone has their way of running things. Everyone wants a change as soon as they come without realizing many others will be affected by it. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the minds of a player, in the minds of a person who's working in the corridors of the board. So that will show in, of course, the results and also the body language.
Just focusing on this Bangladesh Test series, which obviously you were part of the commentary team there. You know, what us guys see on television is just a small percentage of what's going on. You were there in the flesh in Rawalpindi for both matches. You're getting almost a behind-the-scenes access to the players, their attitudes, and how they're performing. What did you see, Sikandar, right, that possibly the TV cameras didn't show? I mean, the body language didn't look great for a start.
Well, I wouldn't say that I know the behind the scenes. If I were part of the dressing room, then probably yes. But yeah, of course, if I was part of the dressing room, I wouldn't be discussing that either. But again, my view or picture is as close as you are, because you see it on television, I also see it from a distance. But yes, something that, I mean, I don't have anything to say which you probably wouldn't have noticed. See, let's say if you're talking about this series in particular, one, I see a lot of people putting in their inputs and none of them know what to do. To start with the pitch, it's looking green. We're taking 4 fast bowlers, 4 pace bowlers, as if it's already decided that you'll win the toss. When you lose the toss, then what do? I think it's all to do with fitness. Like Shan also said that we took 4 fast bowlers because we felt 3 will not provide enough rest. You'd probably ask the question, what about specialists? Because honestly speaking, we expect a lot out of Bakht. Yes, he performed great against England in one of the test matches. He's still new. He's been along with the team for the longest time, but he hasn't really been part of the 11 across formats. You go back from Abdul Qadir to Mushtaq Ahmed, to Saqlain Mushtaq, to Saeed Ajmal, to Abdul Rahman, to Babar, yeah, or Yasir. And then what do you have? You don't have a specialist spinner who can be included in the side, and you have your 4 3 pacers, 1 part-time spinner. You say you can run through an opposition and bowl them out twice. We haven't bowled an opposition at home twice since 2022. So if you cannot bowl them out twice, you cannot win test matches. And since your international 11 don't play first-class cricket because of their international travel and all that, they're not used to the longer format. So who are you preparing the pitches for? It's really, I mean, one thing supports the other, and you hand in hand go and either get to your goal or you get nowhere. So I suppose what we saw in the test series, they seem like a more prepared side. What to do with this pitch, how to bowl on this pitch, how to bat here. I don't remember that the last time when I saw it, that a side declares in their first innings and loses a test match by 10 wickets. Or you have an opposition against the wall 26 for 6, and you allow them to win a test match. I mean, yes, test match allows you to come back session-wise into the game, but hardly. I mean, I was watching a stretch since I think last was 1800 and something it happened. So why are we not able to capitalize on the key positions? Even when Pakistan batted in their second innings in the first test match, they didn't have any pressure whatsoever on them. They were not chasing anything. Didn't have to put up a total in a hurry. 2 days were there, and they were bowled out for 146. Pakistan's top order is not performing. In the middle order, Saud Shakil, Salman, Rizwan, they've been doing bulk of the scoring for Pakistan since 2023. Yes, it's not a large number in terms of like 365 days. Maybe you're talking about 4 test matches, but still they've been scoring. The middle order is scoring, the top order is not scoring. So I don't know to blame or to say bowling is not doing well, or the batting is not doing well, or the captains keep changing, or there are too many captains. I don't think any player from anywhere in the world wants to lose a match. And you and I both agree that no player in this world wants to perform badly because they'll be putting themselves into trouble. But I don't know, it seems like a Ferrari without a steering wheel.
We're obviously feeling down about Pakistan cricket at the moment. There's a lot of people out there, young fans, old fans, they're really downbeat about Pakistan cricket. We're seeing that in the attendances at test matches. Rawalpindi, the attendances were pretty poor. And people are now saying, is cricket in Pakistan going to head the way of squash and hockey? Is there a danger that that could happen?
Well, like I said in the start, that this is not something which has happened overnight. It's something we are doing wrong for the past 4 or 5 years that the results are coming this way. Yes, you can say that hockey has gone down that path and maybe cricket is swallowing, but I don't see that happening. There's still a lot of people interested in putting money in cricket, and as long as the sponsors and brands are interested in putting money, the sport will not take a backseat. Pakistan doesn't have any other sport, doesn't have any other entertainment apart from cricket, but yes, we need to safeguard it and we need to treat it that way if that's the only thing we have. And like I said, I'm not going to take names, and there's no point taking names. But if we don't, get in line and sort it out and put our money and our minds in the right places, we will still be. I mean, you remember that line I quoted this the other day, that first step in solving a problem is realizing or accepting that there's one. If you don't really know what's wrong, then what are you fixing? You're fixing stadiums. You're fixing the stadiums because of world events. But we need to have a lot more that will support the sport, support the game. I think to fix Pakistan cricket is not about chopping and changing players. If that does anything, then please do it tomorrow and win us a championship or a cup or something. But that really won't help. And what are you going to chop and change? The 150 players pool that you had, they'll be the ones repeating coming in. The work has to be done in grassroots. And then you will say, okay, maybe this is a very long-term solution, but that's the way to go. If it's taken 3-4 years for it to get a downfall, then it might take 4 years, 5 years or more. But then we need to strengthen our club cricket. We need to strengthen our school cricket. We need to have a proper structure. I see we have so many departments, 16 or 18 playing in domestic cricket. Then you have regions also playing. Now you have a Champions Cup coming, which was earlier Pentangular. So fine, have all these great opportunities for youngsters, but need to start from the grassroots. We need to start the institutes which can actually help cricketers or youngsters to follow a path and get into that regime, not just get into Pakistan through PSL or a franchise. Which is why I, along with Rashid Latif and others, we are starting a academy in Karachi. We're already working in Haripur and Burewala. We're starting a proper academy with a ground, with a stadium, with floodlights, with everything. So I'm in my own capacity as a business and also as something that you can add to in the sport. Get people to we opened a department, we participated as grade 2. That's where you start from. So we're trying to get those youngsters, get them on, get them to get some money back home, play the game, play it the right way, educate them, art of public speaking, how to carry yourself with the ambassadors, and also carry on with the talent, the natural talent that you have, which is probably the bowling or the batting that you do. That's how you will start seeing results. You can't be roaming around as headless chicken, not knowing, and somebody just kicks you on the right and you start running that way, and then left and you start running that way.
There's a discussion I've had with many people, and they say that the players are not good enough. Others are saying the players are good enough. It's just that lack of preparation, lack of mental strength, lack of focus. What's your opinion, Sikandar? Are the current crop of players good enough?
Well, if there's lack of concentration, there's lack of mental strength, then they're not good enough. Because it's not just about what you do on the field. See, you expect things out of these boys is because this is their bread and butter. This is what they do. They are professional cricketers. They're professional sportsmen. So basically, you expect them to give the results. Yes. Are you there, Saj? Because I think
Yes.
your screen is from. Yeah, okay. You have certain level of expectation because they're paid that much. This is their job. This is their bread and butter. They don't do anything else. Yes. Results, yes, irrelevant. But if you see a fight being put up, you're fine. I wouldn't say that they're not good. Their names, not all of them, but quite a few names appear in top cricketers in the world today. Babar, Rizwan, leading some table or the other. So they're good enough. Yes, there shouldn't be no complacency that this is all that you have. Pakistan is so full of talent. You can only play 11. They're good. They have the resources, everything. But I think they should decide in Pakistan or in subcontinent for that matter, one players don't retire. They always feel that they've been treated badly, they've been kicked out. We should know what to do with ourselves when we are cricketers at the top of our game, when to leave the game, when to hang the boots so that he remembered what Sangakkara did. He could have played more, how Gilchrist left. And then to be in the sport, don't just sit on television, be a part of that sport, do courses, level 1, 2, 3, 4, set your careers and paths according to your, different stages of life. There are some cricketers who understand their body, who understand their strengths, and they know that now I need to get into the second part of my life and I want to do coaching or something else. These players are good. It's just that I just feel that whether it's mentors, whether it's cricketers, whether somebody just roaming around between 400 people, and you keep seeing the same faces, whether in office spaces or on the field. You want to give some cricketer confidence, and people say give them a fair run. Your next question would be, what is a fair run? In Pakistan, every single person has an opinion on cricket. Everyone is an expert on cricket. But that's the most amazing part of it. That means that people are so involved that maybe after politics or along with politics, cricket is something they have an opinion on. I won't take the name. Yesterday when we landed in Karachi, one of the Pakistan players came in the same flight. They were standing next to me and a lady comes in. She just, offloads every possible thing on the cricketer. What can he do? And that's maybe she's just taken a frustration out because she's maybe passionate about the game, or people in Pakistan are anyway fed up with everything. They just don't know where to take it out. But like I said, it's not just one thing. It's not about the player. It's not just about if they're good enough or not. It starts from water trickles from up and down, all the way down. It has to be fixed properly. Again, I'm not saying about chopping and changing. It has to be fixed. Everyone should do their own job, what they are hired for. Get people what they're doing in the XYZ position they're in. Also allow people to express themselves. Put a fair mix of experience and youngsters in every department so that they bring in the modern touch and also the experience part of it, that you don't make a mistake or you know how to get out of it. Everyone wants to be part of the national side. Invest in grassroots, invest in all these things. Yes, I mean, imagine Arshad Nadeem. You have Arshad Nadeems, you have Inam Haqs, you have so many people. We just keep talking about cricket. So this particular series loss maybe is more of a dent because of the history that we share with our neighboring country or with Bangladesh. But it's a lot more than that, seriously. I'm sure if I was Shan Masood, I don't want to be remembered in history that the first time we lost, it was under my captaincy. So he's not a happy man. And as much as I know him, he's not a friend of mine. He's not a happy man. But then what does he do when in the first test match, Muhammad Ali gets a shoulder injury or he just feels pain? What does he do when Khurram Shahzad starts feeling humidity and he cannot complete his bowling? What can you do? Cricket is a team sport. It's not singles tennis that you got to win it on your own. So like I said, since 2022, you haven't bowled an opposition out at home. How do you expect to win? And 2022 was 2 years ago.
But Sikandar Bhai, the argument is that many people are saying we're becoming a nation that's obsessed with T20 cricket, whether that be the fans, whether that be the board, whether that be the players. That seems to be the priority. Whereas if you talk to players of yesteryear, yeah, T20 cricket wasn't as prevalent as it is now. They're saying that they always prioritize red ball cricket.
Well, you tell me ICC Test Championship table shows the standings, and they do have a criteria of how they assess the number of points or minimum number of test matches. But do all the test playing nations get the same number of games? So if Pakistan has played 9 games, including these two, or I don't know, 10, 9, in 3 years, then what are we preparing for? Why should we prepare for that? If you're only having white ball cricket, who is to be blamed? If you're not getting enough test cricket at the test cricket away or home, then what do you do? I remember, was it 2022 or 2021? I was on commentary. We were in a series. If I'm not wrong, please don't catch me on this. We were playing in New Zealand, a couple of test matches, and the last test match was in January, and that was the last test match that year. Only one test match in the whole calendar year. So then, who will go and keep bowling 100 overs in a test match when you don't have test cricket? When we didn't have cricket in Pakistan for 10 years, I just couldn't believe it. Back in 2013, whenever Zimbabwe had come to Lahore, that was the first time Umar played in front of home. I said, really? I've been seeing him for donkey's years. So when you don't have a format being played at home, you will not have youngsters liking it. Of course, T10, T20s, white ball cricket, franchise cricket has a lot of excitement, entertainment, extravaganza. Everyone's, attracted towards. How many people would actually change and get dressed and go and watch a test match? But quite a few people will go and watch T20. Reason being, but it's fast and quick and you leave and you get on to the next thing and you get to your job or do something else. You give a fair number of test matches, then you start investing in that. If you're only going to have 1 or 2 games in a year, then obviously, then you will not put too much interest in that as a viewer, as a lover of cricket. Then I don't know where this opinion comes from that the youngsters or the cricketers are, more into white ball or franchise cricket. Give them 15 test matches, 8 test matches, 4 test matches. 15 is too much, of course. Give them whatever, 5 test matches, 4 test matches, at least 3 home and away tours.
Finally, Sikandar Bhai, amongst all this doom and gloom, you're obviously somebody who's very knowledgeable about domestic cricket, about the upcoming players. Who do you see as the flag bearers of Pakistan cricket in the coming years? Those youngsters who you've got high hopes on, the guys who can take Pakistan cricket forward?
There are cricketers who are already in the circuit who are coming through the ranks. A couple of them I saw back in PJL. They were part of our team also in grade 2, and there were others who played for other teams. I don't know the team names, but this Tayyib Tahir is a very good bat. Looks absolutely textbook, and he's very, very young. I think he went to Emerging Asia Cup as well, didn't perform much there. Then there's Afnan Khan, a left-arm spinner. There's Riazullah, an opener from Lower Dir. There's Saad Beg is good, who's our current under-19 captain. Quite a few. I mean, there's one bowler who was very good, Fayaz Ali. He was selected in one of the open trials. He hasn't played any sort of cricket. Very quick, can be worked on. So there are quite a few in the circuit, and I'm sure there are many others. I'm just talking about the ones I've come across who can be very good for if taken good care of in the coming years. And there are some who you probably will see in the Pakistan colours, the national side colours, if they keep doing what they're doing the right way these days.
I know I said it was the last question, but I've just thought of one other thing. You're obviously somebody who's, as I said in the introduction, very well known as a commentator now. A lot of guys will be watching this video, and girls out there watching this video will be wanting to know how they could get into cricket commentary, what skills they need. What would you suggest? What recommendations would you give them?
Start with radio. Radio is tough. Radio is something that you got to describe the whole picture as to what's happening from the weather to the crowd to the game. Every ball has to be described from the time it leaves the bowler's hand. What it does is that if you've done that, then television is very easy. Picture speaks for itself, and there you just put in your inputs. People feel that if I've not played cricket, they have not played cricket at the highest level or anything like that, they might not be considered. That's not true. There are quite a few names in international cricket, even today, who've not played the game. who are commentators or who are regular in commentary. I think you got to do your homework. You got to understand the sport, not just for the limelight, and always tell yourself that you keep learning every single day from others' mistakes, from what not to do, and also to understand your limitations. I guess it might take time, but I don't have a time period. It depends on what age you're in. Voice is very important. When I say voice does not mean that you should have a heavy voice or anything. Voice means you should be able to modulate your voice and create that excitement when needed, clarity in words, also vocabulary to a certain extent, and know the sport. I'm not saying be an expert or be able to dissect that, at least know the sport. So if you're in Formula One or doing Formula One commentary, you should know the rules. Not every single rule by the book. If you ask me any particular law of cricket, I wouldn't know, just like that. But the basics. Why I say all this is when you prepare yourself for something, you can always feel confident. Don't ever shy away from having an opinion. If you ever feel doing commentary or hosting something that you notice that it might happen in the game, say it. Don't hesitate who's sitting next to you. Don't worry about it if it sounds stupid, and you never know if that actually happens. And like I said in the mid part of our interview, that everyone in subcontinent loves the sport so much that they know a lot of it. Some of the people who are not even into journalism or sports journalism, they talk so much sense because they follow the game, they see the game, they understand the game. So many people write to me, inbox me, how can we get into sports commentary or broadcasting? Dude, there's so many companies now. Back in the day when I had tried and started, there's nothing. I couldn't even do a course. I'm actually looking to start in a small institute as part of this multi-sports facility where I want to bring in youngsters into a simulator, like a commentary box kind of a thing, give them situations, and people are welcome to join. Whether you want to be a public speaker, newscaster, MC, commentator, anything to do with public speaking, even sportsmen, how to interact within your interview or people who want to take your interview. And why not? We don't have any institute. We don't have any degrees of such things. We've never stopped trying and believing.
Well, my absolute pleasure listening to your views. Keep up the great work with your commentary and your opinions. And inshallah, hopefully next time I speak with you, Pakistan might have actually won a match.
Yeah, I hope so. Then next time, yeah, it's England in around a month's time. And I just hope, I always get, what I said in the start of this interview, that let's remove this tag of being the unpredictable side. That's not a good tag to have. That's really not a good tag to have, because that means that you're nobody.
We want to be predictable, but predictable in a good way.
In a good way, yes. Yeah.
Really appreciate your time, Sikandar. Thank you very much, and all the best for the future.
Thank you so much once again for having me. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of a mosquito or fly. Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure talking to you, and hope to catch you somewhere soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.